Thank you so much for joining. If you can share your screen, then
Yeah, I'll
we
do
can.
that. Let me give you like a quick intro. Actually, I like your flow. Thanks for actually having me on the webinar. You keep the tax guys for the last, so you don't scare everybody. But so it's a good approach. Now I do that as well on my side. When we have a webinar, I speak last, so people stay. Okay, so let me tell you more about me. I know most of the companies here. I've done like 2 webinars with Pioneer. Actually, I'm using Pioneer for my agency, for my company. I pay like 20 of my guys like that, and few of my clients are actually requiring payment. So I know you guys. HyperSKU, we knew each other for a long time. We just started doing some partner stuff recently, which is great because we didn't offer VAT for dropshippers before. Bryce, no, we've met once, we've done a webinar with you guys. No, they cover another nasty topic, customs and all the stuff that he covered earlier. And June, we just got in touch recently, and we're going to do some stuff with them in September. So thanks again for having me. And let me tell you more about you. I am Nick Penev. I am the founder of Extreme Power Brands, which is a partnership with a service agency. And we actually help companies in the e-commerce space to grow through partnerships. And HelloTax is my first client and the only company for which I run the partnerships myself. And we're going to talk more for HelloTax today. And HelloTax is a VAT compliance solution which is founded by two ex-Amazon sellers, Christian, who is Spanish, and Christoph, who is Austrian. They were chatting in a Facebook group like 6 years ago about their issues with the cross-border compliance and the VAT in Europe, and they decided to build a company. So that was 6 years ago. Right now, HelloTax has around 70 employees around the world, but we cover a very niche service, VAT compliance in Europe, meaning VAT registration, filing, and the software. That's it. Only for e-commerce sellers. So that's what we offer. So let me share my screen and I'll show you more about what we do and why actually we're here today. So my topic is about expansion to Europe in 2022, main blockers and how to overcome them. Bryce already mentioned about the costs, like the customs and important logistics, which are one of those. But here is what HelloTax is doing. We're actually solving the problem with the VAT compliance in Europe, because if you're not tax compliant, you cannot start selling. As simple as that. Or in the past, where there were some doors, you just get penalized, so it's not an option. You need to be tax compliant. As simple as that. And somebody would ask, okay, I want to go to the USA. Why should I bother with Europe? Okay, there are several reasons. First, the US is much more competitive. So obviously, Europe would be a huge revenue growth because it's not as competitive as the US market, meaning that it's harder to get started, but it's actually more profitable and not as competitive. Some people might not know, but the total population of Europe is like 700 million. 400 million of those are actually potential clients. So like a whole new continent, like 27 countries in the European Union, 26, I think, after the UK left. But in general, Amazon in the e-commerce is expanding. So it's a huge market. So if you're selling in your home country, it's a huge opportunity to grow your company into a global brand. If your competitors are not doing that, of course, you should do it before them. And of course, the last thing that I believe, Ruben mentioned in the beginning, when you sell to bigger markets, like more markets, you can actually cut the cost of your suppliers pricing. So obviously that would increase your profitability. As simple as that. And what are the main blockers to expand in Europe? We spoke about customs, logistics, and everything else. And now we're going to talk about the VAT, but there is something which we didn't touch at all, and this is actually translations, because in Europe, we speak multiple languages. If your translation is not right, you're not going to sell anything. And Amazon did the mistake to use their translation tool when they opened the Amazon Sweden marketplace last year, and it didn't work well. So that's very important. Translation should be done by a native speaker who ideally lives in the country, because it's very important to have that right. And then, of course, the next thing, like value-added tax. If you don't know what is VAT, it's the same like the sales tax in the USA. But it's a must, when you're selling in Europe. So we help only with the VAT, but they have a partner network like 1,000 companies who actually help with everything else, like translations, customs, logistics, and plenty other things. And of course, the fintechs, because once you start doing a lot of volumes now in multiple currencies, if you go to the regular bank, they'll rip you off. I mean, so that's why you need to use companies like a Pioneer and Juni to optimize your finance, when you're selling globally. So today we're going to do something different. Now, usually, my webinars are like only for EU-based company or non-dropshippers, but today we're going to talk about just the analyze of how it works to actually sell in Europe if you're non-EU. So obviously, most of the markets in Europe require a tax representative. And the tax representative is responsible for the VAT compliance, and it's the person between you and the local tax authority when you're non-EU seller. So they're actually fully liable for the VAT payment declarations and all the documents in regards to that. And the good thing here is that few of the markets in Europe decide to simply not require that, like Germany, Netherlands, Austria, Czech Republic, and Slovakia. And that's one of the reasons why Germany is probably one of the easiest market and the one with the biggest demand, on top of being the second biggest Amazon market. This is one of the important things. Another thing for Germany, which a lot of companies don't know, if you're English speaker, meaning if your home country is like you speak English, like South Africa, Australia, USA, you don't need to translate your document when you apply for the VAT, which is a big relief. US sellers, for example, have an advantage when they apply for the VAT in Germany. There is a specific tax authority which deals only with US sellers, and very few companies know that, meaning that if you're a UK seller, you would wait 3 months sometimes, and if you're a US seller, after you submit the documents, you can get the VAT in 1 month. So these are little tricks, and let's say call them VAT hacks, which you can use, but if you don't know them, you cannot use them in a way. So today we're going to talk about the different ways of actually trading in Europe. So the first option is like Amazon, eBay, Zalando, Etsy, Alibaba. So I mean, Etsy, they're not in Europe, but actually Amazon, eBay, and Zalando, these guys are called deemed supplier. And last year we had the regulation change in Europe, and the Amazon marketplace are actually collecting the VAT on behalf of non-EU sellers, which makes it easier for you guys. So you don't need to worry about paying the VAT because the marketplaces are going to do that, and you just need to do the reporting. The second option for a non-marketplace like Shopify, WooCommerce, and these guys are not deemed suppliers, meaning that you're responsible for paying the VAT, collecting the VAT, paying the VAT, and reporting. So we're gonna go over the different options. So marketplace-based options for non-EU sellers. So here is the first option. So this is how it works. Like seller is not based in the EU, marketplace is in the middle, and the buyer is in the EU. So how does it work? In regards to VAT registrations, the goods are shipped to the from the seller. The marketplace is going to manage the imports of goods up to 150 euro using the IOSS. This is something that HelloTax doesn't offer, but here is our partners from Z can help you out with that. And also we have another customs partner. So this is the option. In case your goods are above 150 euro, the seller must pay the VAT, the customs, while the goods are imported. Then the company setup, what do you need to do? Like VAT registration in the countries where you're actually storing goods in Europe. So in this is actually the thing which is important, which I mentioned earlier. Select a country where VAT, the tax representative, is not required. This would save you around 600 euro per year. And this is why we recommend Germany. Like Czech Republic is also used because of the central location, but Germany is the most used market because of that. It saves a lot of actually money if you're selling in Europe, and actually it's much easier for you. Okay, so the second option, which is seller is not based in the EU, there is marketplace in the middle, buyer in the EU, supplier not in the EU. So in this case, in regards to the VAT registration, the goods are shipped to the EU from the supplier who is based outside of the EU. The marketplace is going to manage the imports again for goods up to 150 euros, so the same like the previous one, using the IOSS option. And obviously, if it's above 150 euro, the supplier must pay the VAT, the customs, like the previous case. And usually, for that, you need to have a partner like Z to facilitate that. I mean, this is something that HelloTax doesn't offer. So the other, in regards to the company setup, that's what you need to have, like VAT registration in the countries where actually you're storing goods. And again, select the country where fiscal representation, tax representation is not required. No, you make your life easier like that. And that's obviously how it works for the marketplace base, like Amazon, eBay. So the bottom line here is no, marketplace collects the VAT so you don't need to worry about that. You're responsible for the reporting of the actual sales on this channel, yourself, for a market, for your partner, yourself, So the second option, like website based, like Shopify, for example, there is no marketplace involved. There is no somebody in the middle. So actually you're responsible for everything, But this is the first option, like seller not in the EU, buyer is based in the EU. So the VAT registrations, goods are shipped to the EU from the seller. The seller pays the custom duty and the VAT on the imported goods in the country that you're receiving the goods, and you need to actually report this transaction so you can get the VAT reclaim. Or the second option is the seller can opt for the IOCS registration, and the IOCS is going to take care of that. And goods are delivered to the buyer. So company setup, which is the option. VAT registration in one EU country where the actual goods are imported, and OSS registration, which allows you to store goods in one market in Europe and actually deliver sales to all the B2C clients across Europe. So this is the option with this case. And the last option is where the seller is not in the EU, supplier is not in the EU, and the buyer is in the EU. So what do you need here? Like VAT registrations. Goods are shipped to the EU from the dropshipper. Seller pays the custom duties and the VAT on the imported goods, where actually you're importing the goods, or you opt in for the RISS registration. And the company setup, VAT registration in one country, the one where the goods are imported, and OSS registration to allow you to make sales to everybody in the European Union. So obviously, now, as you can see now, you can do it yourself, but I strongly recommend to opt in for these options, either the IOSS registration or the company setup here below, which we can offer through HelloTax. So I'm gonna share, actually, you're gonna see the recording so you can check it out in more details, but it's not that scary, That's why you need partners like HelloTax, like Z, like HyperSKU, because almost everything that we're talking about here, you can do it yourself. Like Juni mentioned in the beginning, some sourcing agents are using Excels. I know big partners who have like funding for a few hundred millions who are using Excels to VAT. So don't do that. There is plenty of partners. You just need to have the proper partners to actually make your life easier and actually help you grow, because you're saving a lot of time with that. That's the main thing. So what actually HelloTax is doing, we're all-in solution for VAT, online VAT registrations, filings, returns. We have representation in all the Amazon markets in Europe, because 90% of our clients are based on Amazon. We have Amazon integration, Shopify plugin, and manual plugin for all the transactions which are off Amazon and Shopify. The software provides like the digital VAT returns to the registrations in multiple countries. You can register from the dashboard. We process and verify the data by our experts, and you can see the full visibility of everything that you're doing in Europe, the one that you have integrated to us, and any manual transactions which are not integrated directly. And let me see. Okay, so we actually have a free portal, and if we have time, if you want, I can show it to you guys. Do we have time, by the way?
I don't know how long it takes. We have 1 or 2 minutes.
One minute. No, it will take 1 minute.
Fine.
So okay, sure. I need to stop sharing, start sharing. I hate that on Zoom because you need to change that. But anyway, so let's assume that you've selected a country. Let's say Germany, because this is where most of our clients go to, and this is what we advise them. So we've done the VAT registration for you. You're ready to sell. So what you do next? This is how it works on our site. You log into your dashboard. Do you guys see my screen, by the way? Do you see the tool? Okay. So you come to the integration page. This is the demo account, so I don't have on everything, but I'll show you now, and I'll explain what you don't see here. So Amazon, if you're selling on Amazon, you just put your seller ID, authorization ticket, token, save, That's it. Shopify the same. We have a Shopify plugin. You upload your transactions once per month, and that's it. And then the menu order upload. I mean, any transactions like imports, anything outside of Amazon, Shopify, you need to upload manually. And then what happens? No, our software is actually pulling the data either from the integration or the manual upload, and you can see everything here under the dashboard, like all your transactions. You can filter by Amazon, FBA, Shopify, or whatever else you're using. You can see your gross turnover, net turnover, total VAT. You can filter by countries. We cover all the Amazon markets in Europe. You can obviously see the period. So what is your next responsibility? So far nothing. You can see we filed the reports on your behalf. Still, if you want, you can check out the transactions and everything. Sale, expense, refund given, refund received, assets movement, because the movement of goods is required between markets. If you're hosting stock in multiple markets, in this case, you would need to have multiple VATs. But since obviously the focus for drop shipping, this we didn't cover that. But you can check everything here, like channels, from which country to actually the report from which country, from which to which country actually you're moving stock. And then, like I said, we filed the report for you. And the next thing we do here is we publish the VAT return. So obviously, if you're a non-EU seller, using like marketplace, the marketplace is gonna collect the VAT and pay that to the tax authority. So you don't need to actually pay that. But if you're using Shopify, you would need to come here, download the VAT return, and pay that to the tax authority. And you can use Pioneer or Juni for that. And we don't have a fintech partner, but that is one of the long-term strategies to have a fintech partner in the dashboard. So you can just select the partner and just do the payment for your VAT from here. So another thing we have is the tax letter inbox. We get the communication from all the tax authorities, and we have a translation to which translates that to German and English. So you will know exactly what they require from you, from the tax authority. For example, IR registration, filing access confirm, whatever. I mean, here. And the last thing that I don't have here in the demo account is you can simply add the VAT registration from the dashboard. You can just select the country, you apply for that, and we go from there. So I guess the summary for what we do is like a SaaS solution on the front end and a managed service on the back end, because even if everybody wants that, I mean, it's not fully automated. So obviously, whatever is not automated, we make sure that we facilitate that. And I think that's it from me. I hope that I was quick. And the last thing, we're giving away free. Actually, free attendees can get a free VAT registration worth €100. So if you want to get started right now, I mean, you get the VAT for free at least. So awesome. That's what we're offering. And here's my email, np@hellotax.com. You can obviously email me directly, and I'll actually can claim that. So
I think we will follow up with a mailing to the people that signed up for this webinar, and that will include the links of
exactly, of course. That's the best way, because I assume a lot of people didn't join, so they can watch the recording.
Exactly. So, for when it comes to the valuation, the €150, is that then the retail value? Is it the import value? Because I get that question a lot. Yeah,
honestly, I cannot answer this question. I'm not sure, because see, we only deal with the VAT part. So probably Bryce can answer this question.
Okay, all right. I will park it for Bryce then. Yeah. For the now you're integrated with Shopify. How does that change? How can the sellers benefit then from?
I'll tell you what happened. I mean, we actually built a special solution for HelloTax. I spoke with one of the big aggregators like a year ago, and they told me, and I asked them, hey guys, so how do you do the VAT? And they told me, okay, we send the Excels to our tax accountant. I said, are you serious? And these guys are managing 15 brands. Okay, so how does it work? I mean, we just communicate over email. And I said, what? I spoke with the CPO and said, what, we need to build a dashboard. So we build a dashboard where they can see everything, all their brands, and they can manage them on the client level. And then the next thing, I spoke with many of these big partners, and they say, okay, Shopify. Okay, man, we need Shopify. So I said, okay, let's do Shopify. So actually, Shopify is the second one. We're gonna do like Cdiscount and I mean, actually based on demand, but Shopify was the one that, in the like a year ago, every fourth seller was asking for Shopify. Right now, every second is asking for Shopify. So if the market demands that, I mean, we need to provide it. So
Exactly.
I'm happy that we have it already. So
awesome. Well, if you are in the e-commerce business, you have to reach out to Nick, because we had a call recently and you introduced me to 10 people in the e-commerce industry. And last year we had a call, you did exactly the same. So he's very well connected. Definitely check him out. Reach out if you're in the e-com business and want to get introduced for partnerships. I want to thank you, first of all, Nick.